Israel-Iran war news now. Some Israelis have nowhere to shelter from rockets. Mohammed al-Asuni and his family were resting in southern Israel when sirens and explosions roused them late on April 13. Iran was pounding an airbase near the family's village. Al-Asuni rushed his kids to the car. He thudded a missile fragment near the house while loading them. His 7-year-old daughter Amina fled inside, terrified. Another missile fragment hit her shortly after passing through the roof. Al-Asuni says Amina remains comatose in intensive care. He doubts she'll wake. Iran's attack gravely injured Amina, the only Israeli civilian. Her wounding wasn't random. Homes and buildings in Israel have bomb bunkers and protected rooms. Lawfully required shelters guard against the falling debris that seriously harmed Amina. However, Al-Asuni cannot build a shelter at home. He is Bedouin, a population that has lived in southern Israel's communities since before 1948. In recent years, some settlements have been recognized, but others have not. The Al-Asunis live in Al-Fura. Despite predating Israel, it is unrecognized. His shelters are illegal permanent structures under Israeli law. Authorities would dismantle it instantly. He adds they come and destroy anything we make to shield ourselves from danger. I suppose my daughter wouldn't be in the ICU if we were citizens and had shelter. Not anywhere to run. A quarter to a third of Israel's hundreds of thousands of Bedouin live in unregistered Negev desert settlements. The Israel Land Authority, which oversees most of Israel's land, claims these unrecognized communities are on state territory. The government often demolishes Bedouin houses in unregistered settlements, drawing complaints from human rights groups. My daughter would be out of the ICU if we were citizens and had shelter. NPR visited 3 Bedouin settlements this year to learn why bomb shelters were few and what that meant for the residents. The paucity of services in these towns is remarkable. A nearby producing station's power wires across Wadi al-Na'am, an unrecognized settlement. Jewish and Bedouin advocacy group Ajik Hedkar Albaz said they don't provide any of the homes they pass over. They must rely entirely on self-purchased solar systems, Albaz says. Many items are lacking in Wadi al-Na'am. Residents have no power, no running water, and no municipal services, he claims. A small modular school and health clinic are all the state gives. Bedouin residents stay despite poor services. Some claim the territory, which Israel also claims. Albaz says others care for tight-knit families. Others can't afford to move to designated communities. They live in simple dwellings with a few solar panels and, if lucky, mainline water. As you can see, it's a shanty village, huts and tents in temporary buildings, Albaz explains. Rockets on this thing are disastrous. For a long time, missiles rarely fell in this distant Negev desert area. It's 25 kilometers from Gaza, opposite Tel Aviv. However, the October 7 Hamas onslaught changed everything. Hamas rocketed Beersheva that day. Defenses around the city and an Israeli air base fired interceptors. A gunfight abruptly erupted among the local Bedouin. In the unrecognized community of Al-Zarnik, Mohammed Abu Quaider was home when the missiles fell. The family hosts guests in a huge room with traditional carpets and pillows. You could hear the ground trembling, you could hear the hits close to our region, he said in an interview. On that day, Mohammed's wife Maeda said there was nowhere to run. My children were cowering under the table, she claims. We have no shelter, so they couldn't do anything. On October 7, Bedouin died elsewhere in the desert. One Hamas rocket hit a residence, killing 4 boys.